It's time for the 6 at 6 on KCMO Talk Radio. Number 1.
Top of the list this morning, a 2-day meeting begins today for the Federal Reserve. And there's now a belief that the Fed will do another interest rate cut tomorrow. So U.S. stock futures are kind of anticipating what's going to come out of this Federal Reserve policy meeting that gets set to begin this week. And there's a large belief now that there also could be a rate cut that comes along with it that would be announced tomorrow. That will be the final policy decision of the year on December 10th. Markets are all but convinced of getting a quarter-point rate cut to match similar moves in September and October. Right now, 89% odds that rate cut is priced into what's happening. So we'll see what that means, how the Fed spins that for 2026 and beyond. And, that could be a good thing for consumers. Of course, the fear is that you potentially get more inflation, but we'll see what comes out of it.
Number 2.
Next up in the 6 at 6, the President of the United States heading to Pennsylvania today. That's where he's going to be pitching his economic message to a swing district in eastern Pennsylvania. The first of many planned domestic trips the White House is organizing on the issue of affordability that they believe is going to be the key decider in next year's midterms. So this is obviously ahead of what's going to be a busy 2026. Trump is going to be out actively on the campaign trail. And, this is a smart play going into next year. They are going to have to get out people who are Trump-only voters if the GOP wants to hold on to the House and the Senate. So traditionally in the midterms, you try to really localize it. You try to make it about the key candidates in some of these local races. Trump in certain races is going to try to nationalize it. And I actually think that's a really smart idea from this White House. If you just leave it up to the local folks, Democrats are going to be much more active. They're going to be much more likely to go out to the polls. Trump can get his people out, and that begins today in Pennsylvania.
Number 3.
Next up in the 6 at 6. Well, it's going to be a roller coaster weather week here in Kansas City, and it starts today where we are going to get highs in the mid-50s with a strong southwest wind gusting up to 30 miles an hour. And then things start to taper off. Wednesday, partly cloudy, highs in the mid-40s. And by the time we get to the weekend, highs are only going to reach the high 20s, low 30s, Friday through Sunday, with the lows dropping to the single digits and the low teens. It is going to be frigid out at Arrowhead for that game on Sunday. The good news is that it's a noon game, but it is going to be cold on Sunday afternoon.
Herbert's broken hand probably won't help in the cold thing.
That's a good point there. Yeah, Justin Herbert's going to have himself a tough time, especially after he was shooing off Laura Rutledge last night. That took him a lot of energy. So they got a short turnaround there, a very short turnaround.
Number 4.
Next up in the 6 at 6, a lawsuit continues in Westport. Federal civil rights lawsuit is now gaining national attention out of Westport. The Urban Council, a coalition of the Urban League of Greater Kansas City, NAACP, Southern Christian Leadership Conference of Greater Kansas City, and the Urban Summit announced its intent to file an amicus brief in support of this lawsuit. The $70 million federal lawsuit alleges RICO violations, that's Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, and discrimination against black businesses in Westport. The plaintiffs are suing the Westport Community Improvement District and respective landlords as well. Black entrepreneurs claim, quote, good neighbor agreements were also used to push black businesses out of Westport. So we'll talk to Bill Nigro. He's a Westport businessman in just over 1 hour from now at 8 o'clock and get his read on what the heck's going on here. But, it's ugly. And frankly, I'm not buying it for a second. I'm not.
Number 5.
Next up in the 6 at 6, Chiefs left tackle Wanya Morris out for the rest of the season due to a knee injury. He was injured on the first offensive play of the game against the Texans on Sunday night, and he is going to miss the rest of the season due to that injured knee. He was starting in place of Josh Simmons, who's on the injured reserve list and will miss at least the next 3 games. So then you had Jalen Moore filling in for starting right tackle Jawan Taylor, who also missed Sunday's game with an injury. So this is just an absolute mess for the Kansas City Chiefs on the offensive line with these injuries. And it's a microcosm of what this season has largely been here in Kansas City.
Number 6,
college hoops. How about K-State snapping that 4-game losing streak last night over Mississippi Valley State? All right, whatever. Win's a win.
I saw they were 35.5-point favorites on FanDuel.
Did you take them?
No, I stayed away from it.
Yeah,
35.5. Oh, that's big.
That's a big number. Hey, they covered, though,
Did
man.
they? Okay.
They covered by like 15 points. They won the game by, 50 points.
Nice.
60 points.
Should have taken them.
108-49. So K-State, congratulations, snapping that 4-game slide. They had lost 4 in a row to Nebraska, Indiana, Bowling Green, and Seton Hall before last night's win. P.J. Haggerty scoring 28 points for the Wildcats. KU and Mizzou both had the night off. They're not playing till later this week. There is your 6 at 6 here on KCMO Talk Radio, 95.7 FM.